Ladies and gentlemen, this is American Dumpster Fire. And this is Loki speaking to you.
And this is Tyr.
And we got a few things to talk about today, but I think I'm going to start with Lululemon. And not a company I am usually a fan of, honestly, and a lot of people have a problem with them right now, and I don't, for once. But they posted this resist capitalism thing, right? And then people are like, "What? You're a $1 billion company, right?"
I think that my issue is circumstantial because I don't know enough about their company.
True. And the fact of the matter is you can be a large company and not be evil capitalist scum. Okay. Now, generally speaking, you're probably right. If you're a large company, you are probably evil capitalist scum.
Probably.
But it doesn't necessarily have to always be true, and we can't just like jump to conclusions or whatever. But you look at it. Are they paying
a fair wage?
A fair wage. That's one thing, right? If the answer is yes, not so bad. Okay, that's mark one.
Absolutely.
Right?
How are they treating their workers? That's the first thing that you have to look at.
Are they, at least doing fair trade or fair pay to those making their product?
Mm-hmm.
Now a lot of companies these days, of course, go to China and their employees are making crap. They got to put suicide nets around the buildings and stuff. It's so bad.
Right.
Whatever it is. And if that's the case, if they are treating those people poorly, or they're not paying them fairly, or they're not making a fair trade to the community that they're getting their product from, there's a problem. But if they're doing the right thing, and there are companies out there who are capitalist in nature or whatever, and they're trying to earn a profit for their shareholders, but are still doing the right thing, they're still giving those communities their fair cut of it, then not so bad. Another good mark,
Right.
Are they trying to do the right thing environmentally? Are they trying to escape their environmental responsibilities? Plenty of companies are dumping their waste, or they're leaving an enormous carbon footprint and what have you. If that's who you are, then no, you're a capitalist scum.
Right.
But if you're doing the right thing and trying to make a positive impact and reduce your carbon footprint as little as possible, or even make a net zero or negative carbon footprint, which is possible through various investments or what have you, in the right things, those are the good guys. So it's okay to make money.
Sure, it's okay to do well as a company, absolutely, but there are stipulations to that.
Right.
Like, your overwhelming profit shouldn't come at the cost of your workers.
Correct.
And the environment.
Yes.
And the area around you. So yeah, I mean, it's okay to be rich. It is okay to make money
if you did it the right way.
It is okay to profit, but not in an immoral way.
Right.
And that is the problem with capitalism.
Right. So resist capitalism is about resisting those who disparage the rest of the world to get where they go. If you're doing the right thing, profit away.
Yeah.
But
in
do
fact,
the right
those
things.
are the companies we should be supporting.
Right. So
do your research when you use your power as a consumer.
Now, if you yourself are one of those evil corporations, you can turn this around. Now, I heard Apple is buying down their carbon footprint and everything. Now, I hate Apple personally, but it's mostly about the product. I've worked with Apple products a long time, and I find them to be garbage. But Apple, I hear, is buying down their carbon footprint. I would really rather you go ahead and try and find a more green way to do what you do. They're still using disparaged labor. They're still paying their employees. Now, maybe at Apple development, they're probably making some decent money, but Apple Store employees don't make that much money, So you're still not doing the right thing, guys. You can get it together. There are plenty of companies out there that you have a chance. You're billion-dollar companies. Apple's one of the biggest companies in the world. They're one of the most valuable companies ever.
Right. If anybody can afford to pay their employees.
Yeah. Turn it around and do the right thing.
Right. Just
Amazon.
Because they're working in a shop, doesn't make them a peon. You're paying them for a portion of their life to spend in there dealing with assholes, probably, who can't get your tech to work
because it's garbage
for whatever reason. Probably, yeah, because it's an Apple operating system and they don't make any fucking sense.
Right.
And then they have to buy new accessories every single time a new device comes out because you can't make anything universal.
Right. Because it's got to be proprietary. Otherwise, we're not screwing people enough.
Right. So they literally have to have people in there bitching at them constantly for that. So these are probably the people who are dealing with the most bullshit, making the least money.
Right.
The least you could do is fucking pay them.
So Amazon, too. I just heard a number that if Jeff Bezos gave every one of his employees in Amazon, every single Amazon employee, a $105,000 bonus, he would have exactly as much money as he did at the start of the pandemic. That's disgusting, right?
I really can't stand the way that he treats his employees. And to be honest, I know some Amazon competitors that treat their employees very well.
Yeah. Walmart's got there's a Walmart competitor that
but they don't have the wide variety of product. As wide of a variety of product.
Well, so Amazon stomped on the throat of many companies.
They did.
To get where they are.
They compete on a level of like industrial kind of like tools and pieces, parts, and things like that. But like as far as like, you know, books and clothes and stuff like that, they can't compete. And like people like the one-stop shop of Amazon.
How do you buy clothes online? How do you know it fits?
I mean, you buy your size.
My closet has everything in my closet fits, and they're like 4 or 5 different sizes.
Well,
because companies make sizes different.
First of all, the reviewers on Amazon will tell you how the fit is, if it's buy a size down, buy a size up, whatever. But also you can return them if they don't.
Yeah, it's a big hassle.
It is a hassle, and I don't generally do it, but
yeah,
but people do.
I can't do it. I need stores still for clothing. Like, I don't think clothing stores should ever go away.
I can't imagine that they ever will. I just hate buying clothes in general. That's how I know it fits, because I buy stretchy, like yoga pants.
Yeah, I don't buy stretchy often, just for working out. That's it. Although I did find myself rather jealous of like these new leggings I've seen that girls get, that they have these pockets, these deep-ass pockets for your cell phone. Or I saw one with a built-in water bottle pocket, and I'm like...
Really? We usually get denied on the pocket front.
I'm like, guys need that shit. Like, because like my jogging pants are uncomfortable. First off, the pockets aren't deep enough for shit. Everything falls right out.
Welcome to the world of women.
The leggings are tight enough to hold everything in, you know?
Yeah.
But guys wearing leggings is usually pretty frowned on.
Yeah, like my workout leggings are actually kind of nice because they have like a zipper pocket.
Yeah.
And I can fit like my phone and a credit card in there and zip it. So I can run and work out and like still have that in there should I decide. Enough working out, I need tacos.
But,
you know?
Yeah. But I've got a nice butt. I don't think leggings would be so bad on me, you know?
Guys can wear leggings.
Maybe.
In fact, what the fuck is the difference? Just get a pair of those girls' leggings.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think they need like a pouch for your junk, you know? So it's like, you know, not full outline.
I've seen guys wearing leggings.
Yeah, and it's usually fairly weird.
I mean, they make them
but
for
I think
men.
it's a cultural thing.
They're running pants.
No, I get it. I just think that culturally speaking, we're programmed to think it's weird, you know?
I mean, it's probably because you can see a full outline.
Yeah, you get to see exactly what it looks like. It's like, oh, there's a bump there. What?
Right.
No.
And you got to get your sock out. I mean,
all right.
So
now that we've scarred the audience, what's the next topic?
I'm just saying, you can't be like running down the street and be like, ooh, that's unfortunate, you know?
you pull the rag out to wipe the sweat from your forehead, put it back.
Yeah. Anyway. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think that even if they made leggings specifically for men with a pouch, which, I don't know, maybe they do.
You know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to make them, and I'm going to sell them to Lululemon because Lululemon wants to resist capitalism.
Yeah,
and so do
there
I.
you go.
So.
But alternately, you could probably buy the leggings and then just put a pair of like looser shorts over top to hide your package issue.
But that looks weird too. I don't know. Maybe I'll just get a jock strap or something like that.
You're that worried about your nuts getting crushed in leggings?
Well, I just don't want to scar people with the outline, you know? Then some kid is like...
Are there people who don't understand what's there? I mean,
well, you know, other people's children don't need to see that, you know?
I guess. I just... I don't know. Like, I'm like half hippie. I just don't understand people's, like... freaking out about bodies. Like
no, I'm with you on that. And honestly, if it wasn't such a big deal, I don't think I'd wear clothes very often. But I don't know. I'm also not so invasive as to push it on other people.
Yeah, but there's no pushing. Your body exists. It is what it is. Can we stop shaming people for their body parts or what they have or don't have or how they express what they have or don't have?
I've got a really nice butt for once in my life from all the working out. So, I mean, I should be allowed to be proud of that, Mm-hmm. Show it off a little bit with some Lululemons.
Yeah, get your leggings.
So, yeah.
And from what I understand, the Lululemon...
Is that how you say it, Lululemon?
That's how I've heard it.
Oh.
But their leggings are like really soft and stretchy. So I don't think that you'd have the same problem.
A coworker I had used to pronounce it Lululemon, and that's why I called it.
It could be. I have no idea.
I know where there's a store over here, and I've never been in it.
Nor have I, because I don't have that much money to drop on a pair of leggings.
I'm a guy, and I don't wear leggings, so there's that. Mm-hmm. All right, what was the next topic? I am done scarring these people with the image of my junk outline.
So, in other news, there's some tapes that you may have heard of.
I did hear about these. Yeah, now this is the guy who helped take down Nixon, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
So, and now I've heard some right-wing and some left-wing stuff, and then the far left-wing stuff, like the Greens, of course, are trying to downplay this because they want
the tapes?
Well, the Green Party, of course, has nothing. Okay, their people are junk. Their platform is ill thought out. They've got like less than 2% of the vote, but they're trying to like overtake all the disenfranchised progressives, because of course 40% of the Democratic voters are progressives. However, Democrats don't pay any attention to them, so the Greens are trying to scoop them up.
That's true.
And
the Democratic Party is not doing themselves any favors.
So they're doing that by trying to downplay the Woodward tapes and downplay Russia's involvement and stuff like that.
I don't see how that helps anybody's cause.
It doesn't. It doesn't help anything. They're just ill thought out, and that's why the Greens will never go anywhere. But anyways, now what Woodward caught, from what I understand, is that Russia, and I heard some of it, right? You played some of it for me, and so not Russia. Trump.
Oh, same difference.
Yeah. Trump downplayed the virus. Now, that's not the only thing he got, right? He got a few things on there.
So the major points were the major points in relation to the things that Trump has been saying to the public were that this is much deadlier than the flu.
Right.
Trump was aware of that early.
His words basically show that he understood it was 5 times as deadly as the flu.
Correct. He said literally that the flu was about 1% or less than 1%, whereas this is much deadlier, far deadlier, about 5% versus 1 or 1.
Now, this is February 7th. He knew this.
These were interviews over like February and March.
Okay.
And he was literally at the same time then telling the public it's just a flu.
Yeah. And then he was also on tape saying he always wanted to downplay this.
He was. He literally, said those exact words. Yes, I've downplayed it. I'm still downplaying it. I don't want people to panic.
Right. Meanwhile, he has panicked people for literally everything else.
Everything. Yes, I don't want people to panic, but the suburbs are on fire. They are burning things down. The cities are destroyed. The Democrats are ruining everything.
Meanwhile, I want to point out,
the liberals are like selling drugs and murdering people in the streets. There are fires everywhere. If Biden gets to be president, then America is going to look just like it does while I am president.
Right.
There's all sorts of like panic.
We have ruined America. Vote for us for more.
Right.
Meanwhile, he's making out like we're burning down these cities, and realistically, that is not happening.
Yeah, there's graffiti.
There's like
building.
2 blocks that most of the protests are taking up. Like.
Right.
They're largely nonviolent.
They are largely nonviolent. They set little like trash fires and stuff.
For the most part,
there's
little.
Oh my God, the buildings!
But for the most part, there's little to no connection between BLM and the violence.
They've caught several.
Many white supremacists
white nationalists
and gangs, white supremacist gangs and stuff like that. I just saw a video of the Proud Boys.
Things. A lot of the arrests, the trials have actually shown that they're not BLM.
Right. It was the Proud Boys attacking peaceful protesters that were just standing there and the Proud Boys run at them with batons, like hitting them and stuff like that.
Right.
And the cops just standing there watching, doing nothing.
That's one of the most appalling things I've seen, is that literally I've been watching these same cities night after night, and I'm watching, so don't tell me there's media bias, because I'm watching independent, multiple different independent journalists who are there, who are taping and recording this and like sharing their entire videos, feeds from the whole night, on Twitter and whatnot. And I've watched this, like I said, multiple sources. Night after night, these cops are going out, and they'll just suddenly declare unlawful gathering and start attacking peaceful protesters pretty much at random.
Oh, they're like giving them 5 minutes to leave the area and then blocking any way out.
Exactly. Yes, they're pulling all kinds of shady shit to do that. And then you watch and you'll see the Boogaloo Boys and the Proud Boys and all those groups showing up.
The terrorists, yeah.
Right. And they're armed and they're harassing people. They're shooting paintballs. They're using bear spray and stuff.
Bear mace, yeah.
On people. They're literally assaulting people. And the cops stand there doing nothing.
Right.
They're literally, like, you see these journalists showing, like, here are people being abused. There's the cops down the street. They see it. They're not doing anything.
Right.
And you know why it is. And everybody, I think the most common thing I see is everybody saying, yeah, well, that's why you don't see Miley Cyrus and Hannah Montana in the same place at the same time, you know? And so then there was one recently when the caravan of crazies were driving through, I think it was Portland, and they were like shooting people from their cars and macing people from their cars and stuff like that. And like originally the route that they were supposed to take was not supposed to take them through the protest itself, but then the cops rerouted them through it. And then they cleared them out. They cleared out all the white supremacists, and then 30 minutes later declared unlawful gathering and started gassing and macing the Black Lives Matter protesters that were left.
I mean, like you said, they're the same people.
Yeah, that's what everybody said, was they needed they needed the 30 minutes to change into their uniforms.
Right. So, I mean, and then you have the right-wing media going in, throwing road flares in garbage cans, and then filming an angle so it looks like the courthouse is on fire. Now, mind you, this never happened, but that's what they're telling people. They're making up the news so that people think that BLM is a violent
Absolutely.
thing.
There is an independent reporter in Portland who has done this repeatedly. He actually steals other people's footage.
Right.
And then manipulates the footage so that he's cutting, he cuts pieces of it and oh, look what happened here.
Oh, yeah, I saw one that they were trying to push off that it was a blatant edit, and they're trying to pass it off like something was saying it's like, you can blatantly tell this is edited. It wasn't even a good editing job, and you got right wingers defending it. And it's like, are you kidding me?
Right, but they've done the same kind of stuff over and over. Or they'll shoot a video of a trash fire in a way that makes it look like the whole fucking city of Portland's on fire.
They've used footage from the Ohio State riots and stuff like that. The Ohio State riots is over
countries.
A football game, but mind you,
know.
not over. And it's like, yeah. Some of the stuff is from other countries, riots from other countries. Right. Yeah, the one was Turkey or something like that.
Injured police from other countries.
And it's like, we don't even use that uniform or that car type here. Right. Are you serious?
And if you looked at the photo, you would know it's bullshit.
Yeah,
but
it says Polizia, not police. Are you seriously falling for this? But
yes,
they do.
No, and that's not the thing. Is they probably know it's fake, but they're going to use it because it supports their bullshit.
Right, yeah. It satisfies their cognitive dissonance, and they can just go ahead and keep pushing that same agenda.
Right. So anyway, aside from, back to the tapes, aside from the fact that, Trump knew how deadly it was and then brushed it off as, a hoax and not nearly what everybody was making it out to be, he jumped on opening the economy, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
He also stated that he knew that it was airborne. At the same time, he was discouraging masks.
Yeah.
Holding rallies.
And he's like, it's airborne, which is way worse. And it's because you can't control it because it's, in the air.
In the air. You breathe it. And then he holds rallies and says no masks. Oh, and he removes all the stickers from the seats that say, don't sit here,
right,
for social distancing. He admitted that he knew that it's not just older people months ago. This was like March that he said this. Admitted that he knew that it's a lot of younger people getting it. And that was months before he pushed to open the schools.
Right.
Which now he's saying, open all the schools. This is crazy. We need to get the economy running, blah, 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 blah. Which, I mean, essentially just goes to show that he does not give a fuck if every one of us dies. And ultimately, he admitted that he downplayed and lied about everything.
So this is who he is.
It is.
And some of us knew this all along.
Of course
but
we did. And
I
that's
told
the
you
thing.
so isn't going to help anything, because by saying I told you so, they're never going. I don't know if they're ever going to admit anything anyways.
They're already denying it.
I mean,
it's on tape, his own voice, his own words.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. I've heard right-wingers saying that Woodward. Now, mind you, the White House has not said that Woodward doctored anything.
No, I believe his stance was, if it was so bad, why didn't he say something sooner?
However, his supporters, his cult, are going ahead and saying, oh, Woodward doctored this. Nobody else is saying that. Trump didn't say that. His press secretary didn't say that. Just his cult.
No, do you know what his press secretary said? His press secretary said, oh, Trump never downplayed the virus.
Right. They're changing reality.
She is the biggest fucking liar. The biggest fucking gaslighter.
Right.
Like.
Yeah, and her first words on the job were, I'm never going to lie
go
to you.
Fuck yourself,
and I'm
Haley.
like, lie number one.
And the bottom line is that, and she does this all with a cross hanging around her neck, pretending that she's some religious sweet little thing. She's fucking evil.
Well, that's the evangelicals.
She is evil.
That's who they are.
Like, there is blood on her hands as she sat there and lied to the American public, telling them, oh, it's just a flu. This isn't as bad as everybody's making it out to be.
Right.
The Democrats, blah, 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 blah. She's complicit in the deaths of all these people.
I know a lot of people like her. They're like, oh, Jesus is going to protect us. Meanwhile, entire churches are dropping dead from the virus.
Yeah.
Why didn't Jesus protect them? You know? I mean, seriously.
Isn't it something along the lines of God helps those who help themselves? Did I make that up?
I don't know, but it sounds like something made up. But that might be because.
But the bottom line is, like, I think I'm fairly certain that God expected you to have an ounce of fucking sense in your head.
I think you have to be responsible for yourself.
I think that you were given free will for a reason, and it's so that you can use your goddamn brain.
So, all right, what was next on the agenda? We all know that Trump's a chronic liar, so.
Yeah, so there was all those lies caught on tape that we're pretending didn't happen. So now that Trump threw his little temper tantrum about opening all the schools, we're a few weeks in now, depending on the area, and a bunch of schools are closing again because, oh my God, if only somebody had seen that coronavirus would overtake the schools.
Yeah.
As soon as we open.
Oh, so our schools in our area are actually taking precautions. Okay, now we're doing online schooling currently, but they are allowing some sports, but sparse.
Right.
And they have to be like well spaced out and everything. Now, I mean, they're contact
outdoor
sports,
stuff,
so I mean,
right.
however you're going to do that, but even one of our track team members got coronavirus. A football player got coronavirus. A teacher got it, and we're not even in session. You know, so it's like. Immediately the schools open for online learning and people are getting it. So imagine if we had them all go back, you know. It
would run through there like crazy.
It's going to be disastrous.
It's going to.
And Fauci says this could go as far as the end of 2021. And I blame this on the fact that we are so science illiterate here, right? Or science denying. Because countries who have abided science, who have listened to their scientists, are already pretty much over this, you know, and they're just fighting the occasional case that sneaks into their country.
Exactly, and I have not understood how Trump can do his little speeches and be like, well, they're having resurgences in all these countries, blah blah blah, and when you compare it, we're still having 1,000, 1,300, 1,500 deaths a day.
I forgot he said something. He called out New Zealand, right? And now, mind you, that day. We had over, 1,000 new cases or whatever the day he called out New Zealand, who had 9.
Right, and that's the thing, is that literally you can add up the entire every country in Europe, plus Canada, and their numbers don't even come close to ours.
We are by far the worst.
By far,
So-
the fact that he can even make any kind of claim that we've had any kind of grip on this, that we have done well in any way, is absurd.
Yeah.
Absurd. Like, I
So-
don't think that we could have done worse if we tried.
His not trying to cause a panic was the biggest failure in American history.
Yes. This was his entire presidency has been an epic failure.
Yeah. He'll be
This
the most
probably
hated
takes
president
the
in
cake.
history.
He's going down in history, and the only thing that gives me any kind of peace about where America is right now is that every one of these faces of the Senate, the GOP supporters, their faces will be plastered in history books as traitors.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm hoping he doesn't get a presidential library, but instead gets a presidential prison.
I don't think we should even put his picture up in the White House.
So.
I mean, he won't do it for Obama, right? He never did the reveal of Obama.
I'm sure that somebody else will do it.
Didn't he take down Clinton's picture and move it?
What a twat.
He did something very petty. I don't remember
He
what
is
it
petty.
was. But I think that if we're going to hang a picture of Trump, it should be in the bathroom.
He is one of the least mature people ever, but presidents definitely.
He's a child.
So, and his cult is the same way. They're just like him. So
And
they're
there is no denying they're a cult anymore.
No.
There is no possible denial. Literally, Republican Party is dead.
they need to be
There is
deprogrammed.
nothing left but a cult of white supremacists. That is all.
Yep.
That is all. If you are supporting Trump at this point, you are in a cult of white supremacists. There is no other option.
Right.
None. Don't make excuses. Don't pretend to be religious. You're a Nazi.
So go seek some psychological evaluation. All right, we're running a little tight
Out
on
of time.
time, so I think we're going to wrap it up.
Okay,
So there'll be plenty to complain about next time.
I'm sure.
So go check us out on r/American Dumpster Fire. Let's talk about this. Keep the discussion going. Go follow us on at @fire_American on Twitter. We also have an American Dumpster Fire page on Facebook. And you can check us out anywhere podcasts can be found and YouTube. So we will see you next time.